Imagine for a moment that there's a secret key that unlocks the door to true connection. A key that once you hold it, opens not just one door, but all doors. You see, every person walks through the world with their own unique language. A language not of words, but of experiences. Some speak in pictures, their minds filled with vivid movies that dance before their eyes. Others, they move through life, to a symphony of sounds, voices and rhythms that guide their every step. And then there are those who live in sensation, feeling the world pressed gently or firmly against their skin, every touch leaving an imprint. Now pause and think. If you spoke the language of images to someone who only hears sounds, would they truly hear you? Not really. It'd be like trying to paint a picture with words for someone whose ears are closed to colour, or singing a melody to someone lost in texture of feeling, unable to grasp the notes. But what if you could speak their language? What if you could step into their world just for a moment and see through their eyes, hear through their ears, feel what they feel? What would happen then? Well, the magic begins. Suddenly they understand you, not just with their minds, but with their hearts. They nod, they light up, they get it. And your words, they resonate deeply, expanding and taking root inside them. Because here's the truth. It's never their job to change their language for you. It's your job to meet them where they're at. And when you do, everything changes. Influence, connection and understanding multiply effortlessly. And you might be curious, how can you really do this? It's easier than you think. Notice, is their world full of visual expressions? They say, I see what you mean, or it looks clear to me now. Then you give them pictures. You paint ideas with your words and watch them see your vision. But if they say, that sounds right, or I'm listening to what you're saying, you know their world is made of sounds, so you shift. Tuning into their frequency, you echo their rhythm, and they begin to hear you, not just with their ears, but with their entire being. When they say, I feel like this could work, it just doesn't sit right with me, you lean into the language of feeling. Ground your words in sensation. Feel how this could flow. And you might say, can you sense the way this fits perfectly? The secret is to be flexible, the dance between worlds. You become a chameleon of communication, blending into their reality, until they don't just understand you, they feel like you've been speaking their language all along. And here's what's most fascinating. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. It's like discovering a new instrument and realising that every person you meet is playing a different tune. You can tune yourself to their melody. You can blend and harmonise until your message feels like it was meant for them. And notice how empowering this is. You become a master of influence, connection and change. It's not manipulation, it's a gift. A gift that allows you to reach into someone's world and meet them exactly where they're at. And as you meet them there, they open up, they lean in, they want to know more. Because after all, when someone finally feels seen, heard and understood, isn't that the most incredible thing of all? And as you begin to notice how easy it is to switch from pictures to sounds to feelings, how effortlessly you can step into their world, you can start to wonder how often you've already done this without even realising it. Every time you shifted your tone for a friend, adjusted your words for a colleague, or changed your approach to help someone truly get it, you've been doing it all along. This is simply about making it conscious. So from this moment on, as you speak, as you listen, as you connect, you might just find yourself naturally, instinctively blending into the language of the person who's in front of you, shifting when needed, flowing between visual, auditory and kinesthetic words without even thinking about it. And they'll feel it. They'll feel it. Because you're no longer just speaking, you're reaching, you're connecting, resonating. When you resonate with someone, their world changes. And all it takes is the willingness to speak their language. Isn't it fascinating how, as you begin to listen, really listen, not just with your ears, but your whole self, you'll discover every person is telling you exactly how they need to be spoken to. Almost as if they're holding up a sign that says, "Here is a way into my world. Here's how you reach me." You see, people, they're like doors. Some swing open when you touch them gently. Others need a firm hand. And some, well, they open only when you whisper the right word into the lock. And isn't it wonderful to know you've always had this key? You just need to remember how to use it. So what happens when you decide to truly step into someone else's world? Not just to visit for a moment, but to live there. Just long enough to see what they see, hear what they hear, and feel what they feel. Then suddenly everything makes sense. Their patterns, their choices, the way they move to the world, it all becomes clear. And as you think about it now, maybe you've already experienced moments like this. Moments when you instinctively knew how to speak to someone. Maybe you didn't even realize it at the time, but something clicked. You said just the right thing in the right way, and they lit up. They understood. They felt you. And in that moment, something changed. Because here's the secret. Every mind has a code. And the moment you match it, the moment you align with their unique way of processing the world, you create instant connection. It's not about changing who you are. It's about expanding who you are, becoming more flexible, more fluid, more adaptable, until communication just feels effortless. You might even start to wonder, how many doors can you open simply by adjusting the way you speak? How many lives can you touch when you truly meet people in their own reality? And it's exciting to think, this is just the beginning, isn't it? So imagine for a moment, you're having a conversation with someone, and you begin to notice their words, the subtle clues they give you. Maybe they say things like, "I see what you're saying," or "that looks good to me." And you smile, because you know they're showing you how to reach them. So you paint a picture with your words, using phrases like, "Can you imagine this?" or "Picture how it could be." And as you do, you notice their eyes brighten. They're with you now. They can see it, just like you. But then there are the others who live in a world of sound, their thoughts carried on the rhythm of a voice, the rise and fall of a melody. And they'll say things like, "That sounds right," or "I like the tone of that." And once again, you shift. Your words become music. You speak in harmony with their thoughts, and suddenly they're nodding along in perfect tune to you. And some people, well, they're guided by what they feel, deeply, instinctively. You hear them say, "I don't know, this just feels right," or "it doesn't sit well with me." When you notice that, you smile again because you know exactly what to do. Your words become grounded, solid, tangible. And you might say, "Can you get a feel of how that could work?" Or "Sense how this fits perfectly into what you need." And just like that, they're with you again. And as you master this flexibility, this ability to flow between worlds, something incredible happens. You become a mirror for the person who's in front of you. They see themselves reflected in your words, and they trust you because you get them, on a level deeper than words, deeper than thought. And isn't that what we all want? To feel understood, connected, seen. To know someone out there speaks our language. That someone has taken the time to step into our world and meet us exactly where we are. And the more you do this, the more natural it becomes. It's like learning to dance with someone. At first, you might have to think about each step, but soon enough, it's just there. The body moves without thinking. Your words flow without effort. And every conversation becomes a dance, a symphony, a painting that unfolds in perfect harmony with the person who's in front of you. Because you already have this gift. You've always had it. This ability to step into someone else's world, to learn their language, to connect so deeply that your words, they don't just reach their ears, they reach their heart, their soul. And as you continue to explore this, you might even start to notice how often you've already been doing this without even realizing it. Little moments here and there, where you shifted your words, your tone, your approach, and then suddenly the door opened. Suddenly they understood. And maybe you realize now, this skill, this art, it isn't just about communication, it's about transformation, connection, influence. It's about changing the way you move through the world. So every conversation, every interaction, every word becomes an opportunity to open a door, to build a bridge, and create something truly magical. So from now on, each time you speak, each time you listen, you might just find yourself naturally tuning into the person who's in front of you, shifting, adapting, flowing effortlessly between visual, auditory and kinesthetic worlds, until every word that you speak feels like the perfect key to unlock their mind. And as that door opens, you step through together into a world of limitless connection, endless possibility, and transformation beyond anything you ever imagined.